This is Pro Series Off Tppic.
Welcome back to episode 98 of Off Tppic. I hope you had a great week. Hope you enjoyed Pro Series this past week. It came out on Thursday with Rob Murray. He is the CEO and owner of Intrigue Media. It is a media company that helps out mostly landscape designers. But the reason I had him on is I feel like landscape has a lot to do with a lot of crossover with construction and a lot of my main audience. So we talk a lot about how starting from zero, putting yourself out there, getting your SEO up, putting your digital marketing up, make a better platform and footprint for you. It means a lot, but also you need to get out there and network. So he really stressed that. We talked a lot about joining your local builders association and just different organizations within your industry or niche or whatever your business is to get you out there and discovered more, because digital is awesome, but there are a good portion of people that are still not using digital, or consumer wise not using digital. So you're losing out on a big chunk of your business. So if you want to learn more about that, that was episode 178 with Rob Murray on all platforms now. It was a Zoom call. So you could also go and check it out on Spotify and YouTube on video form. Great episode. We'll have another one this coming up week. But let's get into Off Tppic. First topic of the week. I want to talk about something that we don't talk enough about, and that is the ratchetness of the TV show that is Trading Spaces. They brought it back a few years ago, but I just remember it being on in the background, or my parents watching, or my mom watching it. And I kind of want to talk about it. I had this realization on a drive home from work one day about how ratchet it truly was. And first off, I would never agree to my neighbors designing anything in my house. They would never be able to touch anything, like nothing, not even a single throw pillow. But let's say in a weak moment, I say yes. If I walked in and saw hay glued to my walls or a bunch of sand as the flooring, I first would never speak to them again. It would be an immediate block, delete, cease of all contact. Like, I would never be able to talk to those people again. And that's what the show was. It was your neighbor or your family member right next door. And you had a $1,000 budget, which might sound a lot to some people. I mean, nowadays it means nothing. That literally gives you like maybe 3.5 throw pillows. So it makes sense why every single one of their projects look like a little kid did it. But back then, if you got a room look like an elementary school project gone wrong. It literally, that's what it looked like. And I want to really know what the criteria of the show was. Like the production team, what were they looking for? Because it seemed like if you had the crafting skills of a kindergartner, you got the job. Or if you knew how to hot glue random stuff all over the walls, you got the job. Like it seemed like it was the easiest checklist in the world. I want to also hear from TLC and hear why they thought this was like a gold mine. Like, why did they greenlight this exact show? I swear, I think my dry noodle necklace in my handprint turkey art from first grade was 10 times better than any of the projects they did. I think they got the least craftiest people and just started gluing stuff to the walls, which I want to know the percentage of how many of these people that got all these transformations done immediately after production was done, did they fix it? Or also I want to know percentage of how many people's rooms or houses still look the same from that episode. I bet you any money it's 100% everybody changed it, because there really wasn't that many good ones. I remember so many, even beginning of COVID, a couple of them were trending of as soon as they close their eyes and they go into the space and they close their eyes, they open up their eyes and they see the space, they're immediately no. They're just so mad. And the host is, just sitting there awkwardly, what am I supposed to do? But it was just so bad. But that's kind of my first topic. I just wanted to put that in people's heads and see what people thought about that. Because in my opinion, I think it might have been the start of home renovation shows, but maybe it got people and producers and networks thinking, wait, maybe we could actually do a lot better. And when I mean a lot better, I mean just in general, just make an actual good TV show. But it did bring us a lot of the really good designers that are out there, like Neve and Ty Pennington, and there's so many people off of them that really are amazing designers, and they're probably just working off of that $1,000 budget. But they went on and made really successful businesses, other successful TV shows. Ty was on one of the biggest home renovation shows, that is Extreme Makeover Home Edition, when it was that big of a show back in the day on ABC. But yeah, just kind of wanted to talk about that. Next up, I want to talk about comment marketing. If you are struggling with your engagement rate on social media, I kind of have been testing it out. As you know, algorithms change drastically all the time. And it is so hard, especially on Instagram, just Meta in general, just to figure that out because they change it so often. But I've been working on comment marketing, meaning you find people in your niche, so leaders in your industry, go to their page, follow them, and comment on their stuff, like other comments, start conversations within that post to get other people looking at you, gaining contacts too. That's another form of networking. You're also, because other people are doing that are in your industry, trying to do the same thing you're doing. And I've been doing it for probably the past month or so. And I went from an engagement rate of like 30,000 to 110,000 within, 3 or 4 weeks, which it's drastic. You could really, that's what I look for the most is engagement rate. Followers and likes, yeah, they're great, but I think we're at a point you want quality engagement in your posting, and it means so much, especially in today's day and age on social media. I think a lot more people are, looking for it. And the best way, if you're thinking of like, who do you look for? Just look for the big names, identify the top influencers, the top leaders and brands in your industry. I'm positive you already have some. Follow them. And that's something I also have talked about. Like, hey, also look what they're posting, see what they're posting. If it works for them, maybe it'll work for you. Give them a little shout out when you post something similar to them. You don't have to copy them completely, but use it as an idea. That is what social media is. Look at TikTok. One person does a dance video, and there's thousands and thousands that are the exact same dance video, just them doing it. That's okay to, mimic somebody else's work or look at it, but give them a shout out, give them the whole credit to say, hey, I was inspired by this person. You'll be amazed the conversations you have after that. Also, while you're looking at these people, look for the high engagement pages and posts that they have. And then go and look at the high likes and see what people are liking the most. So if they're posting a kitchen picture and everybody's posting about this countertop, hey, I have a job that looks exactly like that. Let me post that and let me go back and comment on that post and say, hey, I did a job too a couple months ago. I just posted about it. You get people wanting to go to your page and see another picture of that countertop that they love. And then look at the competitors in your area. I don't see and look at competitors in my area thinking that they're competition. I just see them as someone else in my area that does the same exact thing as me. There's so many people in one area. It's hard to be able to, I'm going to say design for every single person in the city of Pittsburgh. That's literally impossible. You need a humongous company, which not a lot of designers have here. So just look at their pages, see what they're doing, engage with them as well. I see so many designers here in Pittsburgh that won't like or comment on other designers' pages because they think it's competition. They're like, they don't want to give them credit. And I think it's nasty and petty that people are like that. Just give them a nice comment. If you like what they do, comment on them. You never know when you might need them. They might specialize in something or have a contact in something that might help you out in the future. And just be a good human being and, give more comments instead of, ignoring or giving petty things and going behind people's back and trying to sabotage their business. It's just stupid. Just stop doing that. And I promise you, this comment marketing is going to help you. If you need more questions or you have more questions, need answers, comment and I will answer, or DM me if you are a little bit shy. I promise you this will help you out a lot. Let's get into country music. Let's start with new music of the week. First up, not a country song, well, kind of a country song with a country artist, a pop singer. Sabrina Carpenter came out with her deluxe version of her very successful album, Short and Sweet. I've talked about it on this podcast. Wasn't a huge podcast or Sabrina Carpenter fan ever till this album, and I actually listened to it, and I think it was one of the best albums. I think it should have won Best Album of the Year at Grammys, but we're going to leave that behind us. She came out with a deluxe version, which had 5 or 6 new songs, and she redid the song Please, 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 which was her second single off of this album with Dolly Parton. It kind of took a little turn on social media, people kind of thinking it sounded horrible when Dolly came in. I thought it sounded great. I think Please, Please, Please has a very good storyline to it, and kind of it has a lot of aspects to a country song. So I thought it was a good part. Sabrina, and people that are thinking that she's jumping on the country rock, the country like stuff now, that like, you know, Beyonce's doing it, Post Malone's doing it, Jonas Brothers are doing it. I think everybody's trying to do it now. But Sabrina, all her covers when she was younger were primarily country singers. I saw one with Lady Antebellum, Carrie Underwood, Taylor Swift. You know, that's where a lot of her inspiration came from. And she said in an interview that Dolly was like her go-to on this, and she wanted to do this badly. So go check that out. It's Please, Please, Please with Dolly Parton and Sabrina Carpenter. Next up, Zach Bryan, Dear Miss. Not a fan. I feel like all his music now, and I'm a huge fan. I actually have his first album over on my wall, which was a big part of COVID for me. I listened to that album to death, honestly, and still do. But I feel like all his music now is just becoming the same. It's just different lyrics. It just all sounds the same. So hopefully he, changes that up again. Dierks Bentley came out with a song, which is probably my second favorite song of the week. It's called She Hates Me. It's another funny kind of drunk on a plane type of song, talking about like I would love to be with her, but she hates me type of deal. And, Dierks he's a good artist. He reminds me in a way that his music is a lot like Brad Paisley. Like, it's serious, but it's also funny in a way. And I think he gets away with it, and he has the voice for it. Next up, this is not a country song, but any 90 fan out there, and you were a fan of Backstreet Boys, they're coming out with a new album called Millennium 2.0. It's going to be mostly the old albums, basically like a deluxe 20th anniversary type of album, actually 25th. And they came out with their first song off the album called Hey. Only reason I'm talking about this is it's like more of a storyteller song. It has that storyteller aspect to a country song. And yes, they have done some country music with FGL years ago, which really went well. But it's a honorable mention of a song that's not country that you guys should go listen to if you like country music. Next up, Tiger Lily Gold, Forever From Here. Their new single came out on Friday. I like it. I like their Shoot Tequila song that they had, and it just didn't do well on country radio for some odd reason. I don't know why, but they're a band that is up on the rise, and I do feel like they are going to get there soon. This is a great song as well. Now they're getting, even though Shoot Tequila wasn't like a number one, it might still be a fan favorite, kind of like any of these artists you talk about, like how Fancy wasn't a number one for Reba, or Boondocks wasn't a number one for Little Big Town. It might just be one of those for them, but hopefully this is a good song for them, does well for them. Next up, Larry Fleet, an artist that is very underrated, has an absolutely stellar voice. If you like Chris Stapleton, he gives me those type of vibes. Came out with a new song called Hard Work and Holy Water. It's decent. I don't think it's his best song, but it is a good song. Go check that out. Aaron Watson came out with a song called Your Kind of Guy. Definitely a good song. My number one song of the week is from Hudson Westbrook with his new single called Dress Down. If you might know him from 5 to 9, which is a hugely popular song, but this Dress Down song is great. I think Hudson's going to be the new artist of 2025. I think he's going to just break records and, climb up the country music charts super fast with this one. Go check him out. Just go check out all his songs. And then lastly, not a country song. Again, I'm sorry. There's 3 songs on this list that aren't written or produced as country songs, but this one has another country artist on it. It is a singer-songwriter song, but, that could go into their Americana country route. It's called Nice to Meet You. The artist is Miles Smith, and it's featuring Lainey Wilson. It is a great song. I might have put that as my number 1 if it was considered country music, but it's not. It's a great song. Go check that one out. Let's get into the media base chart. Number 5 this week, Post Malone and Luke Combs, Guy for That. Number 4, Lainey Wilson, 4x4 by You. Number 3, Jordan Davis, I Ain't Saying. Number 2, Jelly Roll, Liar. And number 1, Morgan Wallen, Love Somebody. That's all we have this week. Another Pro Series coming out midweek. Look forward to that. That's all I have this week, so I hope you enjoy your week. It is snowing as I post this, so stay warm if you're in Pittsburgh. And hopefully we don't have to shovel. Like yesterday, it melted so fast. It was amazing. But stay warm, and we'll talk next week.